Hello, my name is Cherene Fillingim-Selk, and I am a 4th and 5th grade science resource teacher at Cragmont. So I am very appreciative of the Community Resources for Science who's receiving this award today. And there are many things to love about Community Resources for Science: their professionalism, their breadth of knowledge, their services, their dedication to teaching science. But the thing that I love most about Community Resources for Science is that they make my extremely complex job just a little bit easier. There was the year when I discovered that I was going to be teaching 4th grade social studies along with my regular science load. So I turned to CRS and I asked for help. I said, how do I make connections between Island of the Blue Dolphins and science? So I asked for help, and help they gave. They gave me so many resources on the flora and fauna of the island, of the implications of the tides, that I wanted to teach Island of the Blue Dolphins all year long. And then Community Resources for Science also has this amazing program where they recruit local scientists to come into the classrooms and teach in-depth, hands-on science to our students, and it all connects to the science standards. And my kids have been able to learn from fire scientists, from the electricity Van Graph guy, from the phosphorescence people, and it's really an inspiration to see these kids watching real scientists and participating with real scientists doing real science, like we heard just a second ago with the Blazes program. That's something they also do. And then Community Resources for Science keeps teachers interested by offering these field trips. They have teacher field trips, and I've had the opportunity to go to the Oakland Museum, to the California Academy of Sciences. But the field trip that is most memorable to me was when we got to go to the Crucible in Oakland. So the Crucible might not be a place that you immediately think of as a science institution. However, the workshops on welding, on glass blowing, on metallurgy were so well thought out and informative, making the connections between science and art, that when I got back to Cragmont, I was so inspired that we've collaborated, the science teacher, I am the science teacher, the art specialist teacher and the after-school arts teacher. We've collaborated on ways to incorporate science and art, and then we have some beautiful science-inspired artwork on display. And then another thing that Community Resources for Science does is that it helps teachers up their game. So they have something called the Science Superstars, and this was my first year meeting those requirements as a Science Superstar. And that involves documenting your multidisciplinary, hands-on science activities, and I was really inspired by that. So I teamed with several other people at Cragmont, so 4 of us made the challenge this year. And what that means to our students at Cragmont alone is that over 200 kids have gotten well thought out, hands-on science, and that's amazing. So the students, so next year I want to help more of the Cragmont staff meet that benchmark, and so while collaborating with the 1st grade teacher on how we can make that happen for next year, we've come up with several different things that we're going to implement to help keep the teacher content knowledge strong, but also to continue to motivate and to inspire and to excite even our youngest scientists. So all of us can be science superstars thanks to Community Resources for Science. So Teresa, would you like to come up and get your
Thank you, Cherene, for those very kind words, and thank you to the Berkeley Schools Fund for having us among these wonderful honorees today. And thank you for putting the focus on the importance of math and science, even in elementary school and all through the K-12 school system here. We know that not all students are going to grow up and be biotech engineers or rocket scientists, but we do want all of our students to be able to explore their interests and be able to develop to their full potential. And with hands-on science, even at the earliest grades, they're able to develop critical thinking skills, communication skills that will help them as they go into high school and go on beyond high school to be scientifically literate citizens and to be stewards of the environment and people who base their decisions on evidence, not just something they heard. I think that's really, really important. And as Cherene was giving you an example, One of the things that Community Resources for Science does is we connect teachers to the resources, the wealth of resources that are available here in the Bay Area, but every teacher has very different needs. So we've been so pleased since 1997 to be working hand in hand with teachers, principals, and district leaders to meet the individual needs of teachers, of schools, and also to be in touch with the district priorities as things have changed, both in terms of funding challenges, new standards, to really be helping teachers, as Cherene put it, stay on their best game in terms of bringing science in. My colleagues here, Sandra and Elise, are program managers for the Basis Scientist program that Cherene mentioned, and we work with over 500 scientists and engineers who come into the classroom, who serve as diverse, enthusiastic role models, men and women from all different fields of science and engineering, so that as students pass from kindergarten through 5th grade and into middle school, as Cherene was giving you the example, they meet a wide range of people working in various different fields of science, and also kind of popping that stereotype in their head about who a scientist is, what a scientist looks like, and opening up their own imaginations to their own future and things that they might be interested in. We work with so many partners who are here in the room today, and I'm sure I will overlook them if I acknowledge them, but we're happy to be part of a constellation of people and organizations working to help inspire the next generation of scientists and makers and inventors. We work with folks from the lab. We get support from Bayer and some of our Bayer scientists who are here today. We get support from the Bernard and Alba Whitkin Foundation, from many of the organizations who are here, and of course the Berkeley Schools Fund, the Berkeley School District, and many of our scientists from UC Berkeley. So I want to thank all of you and those of you who donate to support this work. We want our future to be in good hands by supporting the next generation of students to consider their future in science or as scientifically literate citizens. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. You know, it's actually the work that this community does, not just the school fund, but so many other people that make the Berkeley School District a really attractive place for teachers to come and work. And that's, I think, why we get the quality of teachers and the quality of education. I did want to go back to the Latin Award for a minute because, cogito ergo sum, I remember that, and e pluribus unum, I see that all the time, and that's a hint, by the way. But I thought Shakespeare had written that stuff. I didn't realize that was Latin. The only D I ever got, 9th through 12th grade, was in my Latin class, but I must admit, it taught me English structure. So, thank you.